I'm here at Carter's 90-day conference with Carter, Bob Benson, his caseworker, and Judith Lilyfair, his psychologist. Now, Carter, you've been in our treatment facility for over 90 days now, so as per standard procedure, we're doing a conference to talk about how far you've come, what you can still work on, and then what we see for you in the future. Does that all make sense? All right, so let's get started. The youth that we see now is a lot different than the youth that came into our facility over 3 months ago. When you came in, it was because you had had an issue at your former foster home where you'd gotten really upset and then you proceeded to break a lot of things in the family home to the point that they had to call the cops on you. And unfortunately, because of that, now you will no longer be returning to that home. Um, However, while during your time here, you have worked very hard to address a lot of your anger issues, and you've gained a much better control of said anger issues. So, while you're here, obviously, although it's uncomfortable, we need to talk about the things that you could improve on. So, let's start off with that, and then we'll get to the myriad of amazing things that you do every day and all the things you do really well. So, if you feel that any of these are unfair, please feel free to respectfully interject and let me know why. All right. So, as part of being at this treatment facility, there are lots of other peers who are also struggling with issues of their own. And sometimes that can impact individuals who live here. So, that can include peers engaging in risky behaviors. So, using drugs, behavioral issues, gangs, things like that. However, to your credit, you have mostly stayed out of this kind of behavior. So, Carter, you've stayed strong. You've been given opportunities to do negative things, and you've declined. So that's really positive. Uh, Another risk factor is, of course, the mental health. So this is not news to you, but the ADHD and the ODD diagnosis are something that you will have to deal with for the rest of your life, whether it be through medication or through the use of some of the coping strategies that we've been working on. Your self esteem. So, when I spend time with you and when I see you, I see a very young, bright, active young boy. However, I don't think that you see that. And so, we need to work on getting your view of yourself up to where it should be. Um, your instability in placement. So, what that basically means is you came from a couple of different placements. You bounced around for a while, and then you went to the foster family that you were with for 6 years. And the Johnsons were very good to you, and you feel very close to them, right? Okay, so they unfortunately are not an option anymore, and I know that that's been really hard for you because you consider them your family. Now, the problem therein lies that now you have this family that you speak to and you call mom and dad, and you really want to go back there, but that's no longer an option. So there's a lot of hurt feelings and I think a little bit of anger that's come about because of that. And then a couple of the other things that we're looking at addressing are you've been bullied in the past, and actually recently we've seen you come around and start bullying others. And we possibly, as a result, that you have underdeveloped social skills. So what that means is if everyone else is talking at a grade 3 level, you're closer to a grade 2 level. So we just need to give you a little bit of a nudge and work with you a bit to get you up to that next level. And then although you have been doing fantastic work controlling your anger, there still needs to be more done because you still have had instances where you've gone into your room and you've thrown things around and you've screamed and so on, right? Yeah. So, what? Now let's talk about the amazing things that you do here. You're very intelligent. Your teachers are constantly telling us that you are very eager to learn. From a young age, you were reading Shakespeare, and you just have this desire to better yourself. You're very active. You're constantly out there and doing new, exciting things. And it seems like you basically never sit down, which is a really good thing. And I think that's also one of the ways that you're choosing to deal with your ADHD because rather than go on medication or anything like that, you've chosen to just keep yourself active and you burn up that energy yourself. You're independent. So you're able to join us when we're doing activities if it's something that you're interested in. However, you're also very comfortable saying, you know what, I'm going to go off and I'm going to do my own thing for a bit. Your spirituality. So, as a self professed Christian, um, you draw a lot of your strength from God and from praying to Him, especially when you have an issue and you're looking for a solution. Uh, you haven't been able to go to church as much as you like, but we're attempting to facilitate that. Your relationship with your bio brother has also been positive for you, especially with the Johnsons no longer being a placement option. You've been calling him more and more, and you and Am are talking often. You're well spoken, you're articulate. When you speak, other people listen. You have very unique interests. So you are a one of a kind. There is no other Carter out there, and that's for sure. And that's a good thing because the world needs more people like you. And then you have all these people here who have come around you and want to support you. So your caseworker, the staff at the treatment facility, the psychologist that meets with you every week, all these people want the best for you and they'll do whatever it takes to get it. So developmentally, um, in Piaget's stage of cognitive development, you're informal operational, which is appropriate for your age. And it means that you're able to think hypothetically. So you're able to think about the consequences of several different actions and then make your choices based on that. Sometimes the consequences that you receive because of those actions make you quite upset, but you're able to decide what you do before you do it. As far as Eric Erickson's psychosocial stages, you're age appropriate, which means you're in ego identity versus role confusion. So you're trying some new things, you're involved in new sports, you're going to an outside school, and you're joining several clubs. You went hiking a couple weeks ago. Uh, and all of these things are perfectly age appropriate for where you are right now. Physically, you're hitting your milestones. However, you are a little lean, but that's okay. The good news there is that you just get to eat a bunch, and who doesn't like that? So if you put on 5 pounds, that would be perfect, but you're doing well. And then, as for Kohlberg's theory of moral development, you're in what's called instrumental orientation, which means that you're motivated by the presence of a reward. And the issue there is that sometimes we've noticed that you blame your behaviors on others or you have bullied others to get some things. And the reason that part of the reason that you feel that you can do that is because as long as you get something out of it, you think it's okay. And that's not the case. So that's something we need to work on going forward and just keep in mind how others feel and what makes a decision right. So moving forward, there's a couple things that we want to work on. Because there's no kinship care, as the rest of your family is in Sudan, we're looking into foster care for you because you're a lovely young man and we would like to see you with a lovely family. We're going to speak to the family center about getting you a youth worker so that you can get more involved in the community. We're going to continue you going to outside school as that's been really positive. And then we would like to get you set up in an outside sport. So you were talking about baseball. We would like to register you for baseball in the community so you can work on those peer relationships and be active. And then finally, we would like to facilitate transportation to and from church because I know that you always want to go, but you haven't always been able So all of these things will be coming about in the next little bit. If there's anything else you'd like to say, please do so now. No? Great. Thanks everyone for meeting with me today.